Welcome to my channel, guys. My name is Michael and I'm about to here to help you to move into the 5D. Today we're talking about the exit points and what that means and how it's connected to death and life and what happens when people take an exit point. For me, it all started in 2012. My father passed away and that's why I know this stuff, because I was channeling this. I haven't really talked about it, but I want to share it with you today. My father passed away and I was devastated. It was really a horrible time. I couldn't really understand what was going on. And then one day I was sitting and I get this information to me that people have exit points, which means that their soul knows when they should leave. And their soul is going to make sure that the body dies, which means that we have multiple exit points that will come throughout life. Everyone has this, and either you can choose to take it, or you can, sometimes people come back. They choose to take it because they don't see what to do, for example. And then when they have a near-death experience, they choose to come back. They see the light and all of a sudden something is changed within them and they can go after the things that they actually were here for. But many times we live in our mind and like we don't think that life has any meaning, or like whatever that could be. I was obsessed when my father passed away, 44 years old. I was 24. And I remember how I was desperately seeking, because I know he was really healthy and he was into food and he was pushing me towards being healthy and such and such and such. And then he passes away in one of the world's rarest cancer forms, 44 years old. Boom, he was gone. That led me to start to ask these questions, and I got answers. And one of the answers was the exit points. We don't have to be scared of the exit points, because the soul knows exactly how long we're going to stay here and what we're actually for, what we're here for. But many times they could be scary because can be a lot of like grief connected to when someone passes. But do remember, without death there is no life, and without life there is no death. There's nothing bad with death. And in my hallucination, what I think will happen is that when you die, it's like falling asleep, and then you wake up again, and then you are your soul, and then next time you incarnate, you become another person in another body, and you just choose a new family for the next step in your life. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the humans has for a long time had ideas about that death would be something like bad. But I can tell you, without the death, there is no life. And there can't be any new growth if parts of us and we die. Every time there's an old belief that dies in your mind, there is something new emerging in your life, which is a beautiful process. So you have been dying multiple times within your mind, but you just don't know it. And the more you can accept this, and the better you feel when you come to points where like, you know what? I need to surrender, and this part of me needs to die. And when that can happen, I can move on to my next level, my next step, where I need to be, where I want to be, where everything is more blissful. Because right now I'm actually quite miserable and I don't like my life really that much. But the fear of letting go is probably one of the most felt feelings, and there's a lot of resistance to it because we don't know and what we don't know, and we are scared of even trying. So when it comes to exit points, do remember, if someone near you dies, well, maybe they took an exit point, or they were just old enough to they just done it. They're done. But be friends with it. It's nothing bad or nothing wrong. It's just what it is. And like the more you can grasp this, the easier it gets to move on in life, which is a beautiful process when you get this. And it's just like so many magical things just comes, because then an old part dies and something new comes, and then something old dies and then new comes. And it keeps on doing like that. And all of a sudden you are a different person on a different level that people don't even recognize anymore. They're like, who is this guy? Who is this girl? And that's a pretty cool thing. Guys, don't forget to follow, subscribe, I would appreciate that, and see you next time.